Welcome to another edition of Jazz Bash. I'm glad you could join me. Another special occasion. Dave Zinno, monster bass player. And he's a man about towns, the entire New England region. He's on the faculty of the University of Rhode Island. And everybody goes to him to get their bass playing fixed. Dave
Hey,
Zinno.
Tony.
Fine.
How are
it's
you?
nice to see you, and I'm
Thanks
glad
for
we
having
finally
me.
got together.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so you do things at the University of Rhode Island.
I do a few things, yes.
You do things all over the state with great musicians.
Yeah, I've been fortunate along those ends, yeah, absolutely.
A lot of private students.
I do have some private students as well, yeah.
You've got some recordings out.
A bunch of recordings out, some new ones coming out soon.
What are your current projects? What projects are you working on?
Well, there's 3 projects that are coming out within the next several months. One is with the singer Shawnn Monteiro.
I know Shawnn.
Do you know Shawnn? And it's with a wonderful group of guys, Tim Ray, the great pianist, and Steve Langone, one of my favorite drummers.
Okay.
And we've been actually touring for the last couple of years in Europe together. Mike Renzi, when we can get him, is our pianist, and he's the pianist on the record, and that'll be out on Allegro Records.
Okay.
I think this weekend is the release date. So
Wonderful.
it's available on Amazon. Then I've recently recorded a CD with Scott Hamilton
Okay.
for the Blue Duchess label, which is Duke Robillard's new project.
Yeah.
That was with Jimmy Gwynn and Tim Ray also.
Okay.
And then I've got a quartet that I've been working with. It's without chords. Well, we make chords of our own, but it's myself and Steve Langone with 2 horn players, very talented young Eric Bloom on the trumpet and Jared Sims on the tenor saxophone.
I think we've had Eric.
You had Eric on?
Yeah.
Great.
Because he's all over the world too.
He is. He's a busy guy, very talented guy.
Yeah.
So we've kind of just getting to know each other musically. Yeah. But this project is a lot of fun. It's called The New Stablemates, and that'll be out on Arabesque Records.
Okay.
And we recorded it right here in Portsmouth, out at Steve Rizzo's
Sure.
stable. That's where we got the Stablemates
Okay,
name.
I can understand
The
that.
new Stablemates.
The new stablemates.
Yeah,
Okay.
out of respect to Herb.
Okay.
We would never say stable.
Shawnn Monteiro.
Yes.
Tell me about Shawnn Monteiro and Dave Zinno backing her singing.
Well, Shawnn is, a seasoned professional singer. She's the daughter of the great bassist Jimmy Woody. You know about Jimmy Woody?
Yes.
Played with Duke Ellington and Clark Terry and so many people. Matter of fact, Clark Terry is Shawnn's godfather.
Okay.
And she's
They
been out
say
doing...
Clark is not doing very, very well.
Yeah, Clark is getting on. Yeah.
Yeah, they may have to take another leg, I think.
Oh, gee whiz. Yeah. But yeah, so Shawnn, she has the real deal feel, a real jazz feel, and a real jazz sound. And so, that's basically what we're working with. She sings these mostly standard tunes, We do some new things with them, and I think you'll like the record. Mike Renzi did a great job producing it.
Mike
Yeah.
always does well with whatever he does.
Oh yeah, he's a wonderful guy, Mr. Mike.
That's right. Grammy Award winner.
Emmy Award winner too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I meant, Emmy.
Did he? Yeah, I think he won some Grammys as well.
Yeah. Well, this is about music. It's about playing some jazz and have people out there see. So I'm going to play something now
Wonderful.
that afterwards we'll have you comment.
Okay, I like jazz.
So let's roll this. Wes Montgomery, what do you think?
Oh man, he's like the swinginest of all time, right? I mean, he played his eighth note phrasing sounds like a big band, which you don't hear much in guitar players anymore. But well, there are a few.
Full fretted swinging player.
Yeah, wonderful player.
Yeah. Ever work with a guitar player like that?
I have been lucky to work with some great ones right around here. We have Gray Sargent and John Wheatley.
Oh yes, sure.
Gray is a real swinger, and Wheatley too, and they're both real tunesmiths.
I like
Keeps
Gray.
you on your toes.
I like Gray because does all these quotes from other things. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he's a
is
master of that.
improvising, and he's the master of quoting.
Oh, he sure is, yeah.
So good. Now, what about this fundraising thing that you were going to talk about?
Oh, well, we did recently, back in December, actually, we did a fundraiser for the Jazz Studies Scholarship at URI. You know, the state university keeps cutting our budget. The state's broke, so naturally they're going to cut the arts. And they're cutting it and cutting it. We're running on a shoestring, and then they cut us some more. I mean, it's almost, I don't know how Joe Perillo's doing it, to tell you the truth, but we're staying alive. So what I did was I called some friends of mine, my friend Esperanza Spalding, and then this great, very famous alto sax player named Bob Mover, who worked with Mingus and Chet Baker. And I put together the trio that I used to work with. I met through working with Hal Crook. And the group is called Planet Safety. It's with Bob Galati and Esperanza's current pianist, Leo Genovese. So we put that together, and we did a word-of-mouth thing, and we're able to draw quite a good crowd over at the university, and we raised some money.
We're going to see Esperanza now, aren't we?
Yeah, I brought a clip, and this is from actually the encore, where we just went on, the two of us, as a duet, and she improvised the lyrics, trying to talk people into giving some money.
Okay, so this was named Pass the Hat?
Well, whoever at the university created this disc titled it Pass the Hat. Really, it was just a blues with some improvisation.
Let's watch.
But she's clever. You watch her freestyle these lyrics. She just
Okay.
made them right off the top of her head.
Let's watch Zinno and Esperanza
Okay.
do Pass the Hat. Absolutely marvelous.
Yeah, she's something else.
She's got this clear soprano voice. She has a sense of music.
Oh, yeah.
She really digs jazz.
Oh, yeah. And she's a great improviser. I mean, that was all improvised.
Yeah.
She just came with lyrics and everything right off the top of her head, you know. She's pretty fearless.
Now, how did you come to know?
She used to come and hear the group Planet Safety when we would play in Boston. And she actually came down to Providence to the AS220 and used to check us out with Hal Crook's group. And she subbed for me on that gig a few times when she was at Berkeley, you know. And then, you know, she contacted me last year and asked me to take a couple of lessons, a few things that she wanted to work with me on. I was honored, you know, so we get together when she's around.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, you've also done some work with Deedles.
Oh, yeah, Diane Shore. That goes back some years, but yes.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, I moved to Seattle, Washington when I was 21. And I got out there and I didn't know what the heck I was going to do. But I ended up really meeting some great people. I studied with Gary Peacock for a little while out there and got to do some gigs with Julian Priester, Hadley Kalaman, lots of other, you know, really talented people out there.
Oh, a lot of great talented people. Stan, no, not the lawyer who plays the piano. Oh, my attorney, Bernie.
Oh, Dave Fishberg.
Dave Fishberg, he's out there.
Is he in Seattle? I never, he was probably not there at the time I was there, but yeah. But anyway, I got a call one day to work with Deedles, and so I did, and we hit it off, and so I ended up pretty much working with her for about a year until I moved to New York. But and well, actually, that's the year she released her first record with Grusin, GRP, and the year she won her Grammy, her first Grammy, and
exciting,
so,
absolutely exciting.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Now you've also worked with Greg Abate, who's blowing up a storm in Europe and England.
Oh yeah, he's Greg's a go-getter, man. He's out there doing it. He never stops. Relentless. It's great.
When will the day come when someone will be interviewing a jazz player and said, "You worked with Dave Zinno. Tell me about that."
Well, if you get any of my students from the last going on 16 years of teaching at the university level, it does come up once in a while. There are actually some guys out there doing it. It's great to see.
I may have extended the truth a little bit when I said that bass players come to you to get their playing fixed. Have you really done any of that? When someone says, geez, I'm supposed to be able to do this and I can't. Let me go to Dave and he'll fix it.
Well, yeah, I have some professional bassists who come to me. Well, Esperanza doesn't need lessons from me, obviously. She's a terrific player, such a super talent. I wish I had her talent. But, you know, there are a few things that she's heard me do that she was interested in learning about. And, you know, so I get to pick her brain while she's while she's over. Or, you know, I have a bassist who works with Duke Robillard who comes, and he wanted to switch from the electric bass to the upright bass. And he's now playing the gig on the upright bass. And so, yeah, it does come up where, you know.
Do you find any separation between what I would call education and playing? Or does it all roll into one package?
Well, you know, it's all connected, but yeah, teaching is its own art, I think. You know, being able to, well, just to have the organization to be able to present something in a way that's coherent and chronological, you know, takes some time. And I kind of got thrown into it. I just was asked to teach, and so I started teaching. I wasn't trained to teach.
Yeah.
So it took me some time to get my method together. And then, you know, I find it's, you know, I kind of like to start people from the beginning, but, you know, it's also can be a lot of fun to work with people who are already playing. You know.
I once was in the company of Chuck Israels.
Great bass
And
player.
I asked Chuck a similar question. I said, do you find any disconnect between teaching and playing? And he looked at me quietly and he sort of smiled and he said, seamless connection. That's exactly what he said. Chuck is a great player.
Oh, yeah.
And a good educator, too, I think.
Yeah, he is.
Very articulate.
Oh, he is.
I mean, his work with Bill Evans is just marvelous.
Right.
And I went looking for a Bill Evans, Chuck Israels thing that I had in my collection to play for you today, and couldn't find it.
Buried.
It's buried. But we've got something that's quite as good. After 35 years, the Modern Jazz Quartet came together at a concert in Germany. It's their 40th anniversary tour. In Stuttgart, Germany, John Lewis was there, Milt Jackson was there, Percy Heath was there, Mickey Roca temporarily filled in because Connie Kay, who wasn't feeling too well, couldn't make the gig.
Yeah.
So what we've got coming up here is a thing called Sketch.
All right.
40th anniversary tour of the Modern Jazz Quartet.
That's great. Yeah. And Mickey Roker, one of my favorites.
Okay, that finally was the 40th anniversary tour, John Lewis.
Wonderful.
I played the whole thing, and the whole thing to me just is marvelous. You've also worked with Rebecca Paris.
Yeah, sure. Over the years, we've done quite a few gigs together, actually. Yeah.
I call her a Navy woman.
Why is that?
Because of her language. It's colorful.
Yeah, she is too much, right?
Yeah, she's a great singer.
God, she's great. She's such a super pro and great improviser.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, there aren't a lot of singers who can really scat well, and she's the best around. Yeah.
Nice.
Amazing.
A number of years ago, I was in San Antonio, Texas, and she sang there with a group. And all of the women vocalists who were there just gathered around. They wanted to make sure they heard what she had to say and sing. And she just was in charge of that stage. It happened midday. I mean, it wasn't a night performance.
Right.
And so she was there in her all together. I mean, there was nothing, you know, she wasn't tired or anything. She had just gotten up. Boy, did she sing.
Oh, yeah, she's terrific.
Dino Gavoni.
Dino. The dog from the Flintstones.
Right.
He was Italian, that dog.
Yeah,
Yes, Dino.
Yeah,
Ferocious tenor player.
Yeah, he sure is. Now, what group, in a sense, that stands out in your mind? I know you must have had 1,001 high points. With my family, what we do is, well, what was your high today? What was your low today? Do you have a high that you can tell me about?
And with Dino, you mean?
No,
or
with
just
anyone.
in general.
In general.
Wow,
In terms of
high
playing.
points. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, you know, like
Many highs?
there've been a lot of good
Yeah.
moments in the last several years. You know, I mean, one of my favorite experiences was getting to work with Jimmy Cobb and Junior Cook.
I don't know about you, but I've had so much fun that we've run out of time.
I know, time flies.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you were here.
Thanks for
Finally,
having
we got to get you to pin down. And according to your suggestions, we're going to dedicate this to Audie Cabral's wife.
Catherine, yeah.
Yeah.
She's really a nice lady, and I was sorry to hear about her passing.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming.
All right,
and
thank
maybe
you.
I'll see you out there.
Please.
Okay.
All right,
great.
Tony.
Thank you for coming. Let's listen to this as we go out. Blue Daniel.